Shalom and good evening, my brothers and sisters. Bringing you another mystery for YAH has revealed a message that He wants us to know about the ninth month, known as Casleu or Chisleu. Excuse my tongue. But first, let me give all honors and glory unto Yahuwah, our Father in heaven. Father, we thank you for all the things you have done for us. For you are the Almighty, the El Shaddai. You are our provider. You are our protector, Father, and we thank you. I also want to give homage and my respect unto your Son, Yahusha HaMashiach, who will be the Lord of lords and the kings of kings. He is the second Adam, the Messiah, known as the Anointed One. And last, I would like to give my respects to the Ruach HaKodesh, who is the Holy Spirit, the glory of Yah, the beauty of holiness, also known as the Spirit of wisdom, also known as the 7 eyes and 7 spirits of Yah. I would also like to bid a shalom unto the bride of the Messiah, the 144,000, and to the nation of Israel. What you see before you is a collage dealing with the word trust. I want you to take a minute and meditate on this picture. Look at some of these words, because now we're getting the understanding of the ninth month and why the ninth month means His trust. Now, when you hear the word, well, I need to correct myself. The ninth month means His confidence, and we know confidence means trust. And we know the word trust can go in many directions with this. But the message that He wants you to know tonight is something very important. Those who are knowledgeable of, what can I say? How can I say this? Could this go deep for those who are knowledgeable about corporations, business, finance? Because even you know that America is actually a corporation, and that's how they run this country, as a corporation. Well, this is going to fall right down in your lane tonight. Please check out the video description box for some very important announcements, and also that you will have access to YAHUAH prophetic. That you have access to YAHUAH's calendar, and that you have access to his prophetic messages. Okay? For we have learned in the past several weeks that it's very important that you know how to follow his calendar, for it will give you understanding of the biblical prophecies. And it's also give you understanding what would take place with the Messiah, the bride of the Messiah, the 144,000, and with the nation of Israel. But most importantly, it will give you understanding about our Father in heaven. Okay? Forgive me if I sing a little bit slow tonight, because like I said, it's late tonight. And this time I'm usually asleep, y'all. But the Father brought this to my attention, remind me it has to be put out. Okay, so now let us begin. So you see this courage, and we know his confidence means his trust. His trust. As you say these two words unto yourself, I want you to meditate, because he's taking us deeper tonight to understand what is his trust. Okay? All right, let me change my screen because I need to take you to the calendar first. Now, this calendar link is free unto you. All you have to do is go to the video description box and click on the Google Calendar link, and you can review the calendar yourself. So let me give you the date. We are in the Most High ninth month, okay? And his ninth month means his confidence. Far as the date of Satan's calendar, known as the heathen's calendar, also known as the Gregorian calendar, which is the fourth beast calendar, their date is December the 5th, 2020 AD. As one of my sisters remind me, when we look at what their word, like the month December, mean, it actually means 10. Again, you study their history, their calendars, you will learn that it cannot give you the Most High holy days nor His holy feast days. Their calendars are in great error. So we know December means 10. And if you study about the Most High numbers, you will learn that 10 means completion, for there are 10 levels in heaven. As far as, let me make sure I gave you their year. Their year is 2020 AD. As far as the Most High date, we are in His ninth month. And it falls on the 19th day in His ninth month. And we are in the third week of His ninth month. Okay. This is where we're at. We're on day 19. As far as the phase of the day, it's night now. Okay, so that's the phase of the day. And we know His day began from sundown to sundown, for His day is made up of evening and morning. I'm gonna quote it that way, y'all. Or it's made up with what? Night and light. If we go back to the foundation, which is Genesis chapter 1. Okay. And this is the week where the moon is waning, meaning that she is decreasing in light now, y'all. And to understand His calendar, you have to go back to the foundation. You must study His three lights, which are the sun, the moon, and Mazzaroth. Mazzaroth is a Hebrew word for 12 signs. Today, the Gentiles call it the zodiac. So once you understand those three lights, then you begin to understand His calendar and the mysteries. So several months back, Yahuwah has revealed to me that we need to start looking at all His months, not just only the months dealing with the holy days and holy feast days, but we need to start looking at all His months, because He is giving us a divine message that relate to this generation, to the present time, and what is yet to come. Do y'all hear me? It relates to the present time and is what yet to come, and at the same time shall give you understanding of the past, or what was at the beginning before the foundation of the world. Okay, so let me scroll back down. So we are in the ninth month, the Most High calendar, known as Casleu. I'm not going to try to say it the other way, but here you see the different spelling of this word, and it can be found in the book of Nehemiah, in the book of Zechariah, the book of First Maccabees and Second Maccabees. Okay, and when you read Jeremiah, it talks about the ninth month. Okay, take this time now to pause your screen. Now there is a video that you can watch dealing with the Feast of Lights, known as the Feast of Dedication. In the Hebrew, they would say Hanukkah. Okay, you can watch that video playlist to get an understanding about that feast and why we keep a remembrance of that feast. Okay, but tonight focus is on His confidence, meaning His trust. What did that mean? So first, let me take you to, I got to take you to the Paleo Hebrew to set the foundation. So let us first go there. Okay. When you learn about the Hebrew language, you will learn there was different phases of this language. The original phase was Picto Hebrew. Then you have Paleo Hebrew, and then what you see today is modern Hebrew. Okay. For me, I prefer more of the Picto and the Paleo Hebrew, because even the pictures of the Hebrew letters tells you a lot. But the letter we're going to focus on today is dealing with Tav. Okay, we're setting the foundation to understand his trust. His trust. So let me blow this up. I want you to see this letter nice and big. Okay. That should be big enough for you. The letter Tav, as far as a number, it represents the number 400. When you translate it to the English letter, you would see it as the letter T, or it can be the letter TH. Now, this letter means a mark, a sign, or a cross. It also means ownership, to seal, covenant, join two things together, the last, because this is the last letter in the Hebrew alphabet. Okay. In the Hebrew alphabet, we have a total of 22 letters, and the 22 letters represent the 22 heads, from Adam to Jacob, because they was the leader of their generations. Also, it represents the 22 kinds of creation that was created in Genesis. Okay. Read the book of Jubilees, and that gives you that history and that foundation. As you see, our Father speak through many things. He speaks through his letters, he speaks through his numbers, words, science, math, etc. Okay, he speaks to a lot of stuff. But I want you to take this time now, write down this meaning of Tav, because then you begin understanding why we got to know about this and how does it relate to his trust. Okay, take this time now to pause your screen. Okay, so I'm going to take this off. Now we're going to go to blueletterbible.org. Okay, that's what we're going to go to now, the blueletterbible.org. And I'm going to have to back this up because what I did, y'all, I did a word search. You can do a word search. I want you for homework, and this is something for you to do in your spare time. I want you to do a word search on trust, a word search on confidence, a word search on temple. That'll be something for you to do in your spare time to expound more on this study. For tonight, I'm only going to give highlights for the second time. Okay? So when I look this word up, confidence, y'all, it's so many verses that reach out to me, such as you have in the book of Job, chapter 18. It says that his confidence shall be rooted out of his tabernacle, and it shall bring him to the king of terrors. That is a great chapter to read to understand about what take place with the wicked. Okay. Another verse that got my attention was Psalms chapter 65, verse 5. For he say, by terrible things and righteousness wilt thou answer us, O Yahuwah of our salvation, who art the confidence of all the ends of the earth, and of them that are far off upon the sea. Again, we know confidence means what? To trust, right? But for assurance, let us go there and look it up in the Hebrew. Okay. I'm going to take this off. Now, for this particular word for confidence is found in H4009. H4009. Okay, but it's many different, and it's pronounced as myth talk. And there is another different forms of different spelling. That's why I say you have to do a word search and look at each scripture that has the English word confidence to look at all the Hebrew words. Okay, so when we look this word up, as far as usage in the Bible, we can see it's used to represent the word trust, also used to represent refuge. Okay, and it goes on to define it as properly a refuge. Now, looking at it from an objective point of view, it's saying it's security, or looking at it from a subjective point of view, it's saying assurance. So, other meanings of confidence are hope, sure, and trust. You know how we have no shadow of a doubt. We know this is so. Okay, no doubt in you, no fear in you, no wavering in you. Okay, we believe with our whole heart with no doubt. Okay, it's very important to remember those characteristics of what comes with his confidence. Okay, so let me go back because tonight we're going to read from the book of Proverbs. Okay, the book of Proverbs. So we're going to read from Proverbs chapter 3, but I also recommend that you read Psalms chapter 118. For as you see here, it is better to trust in Yahuwah than to put confidence in man. Also in verse 9, it says, it's better to trust in Yahuwah than to put confidence in princes. Okay? Then you can go and look at Proverbs 14. In the fear of Yahuwah is strong confidence, and his children shall have a place of refuge. Oh my goodness, y'all. Do y'all see this? In the fear of Yahuwah is strong confidence. So when you fear him, guess what? Your confidence is strengthened. Your trust is strengthened. Mm. I guess I will have to go to that other chapter tonight. If I don't have time this video, y'all, go to Isaiah chapter 11. Isaiah chapter 11. And I believe it's the first 3 to 5 verses. And you're going to see why in the fear of Yahuwah is strong confidence. Okay? And through us and by us having these characteristics, we shall have what? A place of refuge, a place of safety. We should dwell in his tabernacle or his pavilion. Okay, he shall hide us from our enemies. Okay, as well. They are his enemies. All right. That's another nugget for you to read in your spare time. Like I said, it's many things that you can read about dealing with confidence. Okay. I'm just scrolling down to make sure I didn't miss anything else before we get into the mystery. Okay, now let's get straight to the mystery. The first thing we have to look up the word trust. You might say, what is Sister Yiddy doing? We just talked about the definition, right? And we know confidence is trust. Well, the Father told me, look deeper, my daughter. So that's what I did. I looked deeper. Okay. So now I'm going to take you to the definition of trust. So let me tell you how this happened. I typed in the word trust, and this is what I got. The first thing that popped up was by Merriam-Webster. Okay, so I'm going to read this whole thing out loud. I'm going to tell you what stood out to me, y'all. Okay. It goes on to define trust as firm belief in the character, strength, or truth of someone or something. He placed his trust in me. Mm. Y'all want to underline that because that's a mystery tied in that. It's read John chapter 14 because it's going to relate Yah's trust. So we know Yah placed his trust in us. Okay? And when you understand the trust and what it is, then you understand why it's called the spirit of truth. Okay? And through truth, it shall what? Set you free. Through truth, it will teach you how to fear Yahuwah. Okay? And through truth, your trust in Yah will be strengthened no matter what your enemies do. All right, let us keep going. Number 2, a personal thing in which confidence is placed. Okay? A personal thing in which confidence is placed. So we know confidence, which is trust, has to dwell in you, right? Has to be in you. Okay. Number 3, confident hope I waited in trust of their return. Confident hope I waited in trust of their return. Number 4, a property interest held by one person or organization as a bank for the benefit of another. Now, out of all these ones that stood out to me, it was number 4. Number 4. Now do you see why we went to the foundation? To the Hebrew letter Tav. We're going to tie this in together, y'all. Okay? Now we are beginning to see what is his trust. Let me click on the link so we can read number 4 again together. We're going to look at number 4, look at A, B, and C. But the one that I was looking at, let me see, can I find it? It's number 3. Number 3. We're going to read number 3 and number 4. Okay? 3 and 4. A property interest held by one person for the benefit of another. Now, I don't know about y'all. This is setting off light bulbs, or it should be setting off the firecrackers. Do y'all see the light on this? It says here a property interest held by one person for the benefit of another. Now, this should remind you of what the word is telling us. What the word say that would take place unto the bride, unto the 144, and unto the nation of Israel. But let us keep reading. Now I'm reading 3b. A combination of firms or corporations formed by a legal agreement, especially one that reduces or threatens to reduce competition. Now, when I read 3b, you know what stick out to me? Is these words, a legal agreement. What did we learn from the foundation, from the Paleo Hebrew Taw? It means what? A covenant. A covenant. I'm giving y'all key words. We're going to tie this all in together. And I like how it says that one that reduces or threatens to reduce competition. In other words, this covenant is going to bring forth no competition. In other words, nothing can compete against it. Now, those who come into the whole volume of the book, you should understand what I'm saying for those who are mature in the word of Yah. Okay? All right, let us keep going. Look at number 4. It means care, custody. All right? And it gives us a sentence. The child committed to her trust. The child committed to her trust. So, with children when their parents or their guardian is no longer uh, um, living or cannot take care of them. What has been established for the child is a trust for the child to live off of, okay? But I don't want to keep giving the full definition. I don't want to go into the other part yet, but do you see what is taking place now? So it said the child committed to her trust, okay? Now we begin to see that the word trust is pertaining to, shall I say this word now or wait till I read the rest of this, y'all? Let me see. Let us keep reading. But we're going to see what this trust is pertaining to in the biblical way. Let us look at B. A charge or duty imposed in faith or confidence as a condition of some relationship. Relationship. That should be a key word unto you. Okay. A charge or duty imposed in faith or confidence. Do you see these key words? We got faith, we got trust, and we got confidence. And it's a result of because there's a relationship there. Okay. Number 2, something committed or entrusted to one to be used or cared for in the interest of another. Now you want to highlight that one. Okay, because we're getting to see who is. It's not a what now, y'all. It's changing to a who. Who is Yah's confidence? Who is Yah's trust? Okay, let us keep going. I want to read number 2 again. Something committed or entrusted to one to be used or cared for in the interest of another. Okay. C, responsible charge or office. So this one that I'm thinking of is going to have a charge or an office dealing with the trust. Okay. Okay. Now that we have set this foundation, I'm just scrolling down to see if anything else. So again, some keywords is belief, trust, faith, hope. Okay, all these words go in all in the same bucket with the confidence of Yah. Okay, with the confidence of Yah. All right, we're going to change screens now. I'm looking at some of y'all comments. And shalom and good evening, everyone. All right. Now that we set the foundation, let me see where to take y'all at now. Oh, I know now. I got to take y'all to the picture. This is a different picture, though. Now to give you the answer. Let me see where did I put it at. Let me see. This one. Here we go. This is what I want y'all to see. You know, our Father always give us a physical example in the earth to understand the spiritual meaning. Okay. I'm trying to find my tab so I can get to it. There we go. This is the one we want to look at. Looking at the trust process or looking at the steps that take place with a trust. It said in step 1, let me not start with that picture. Not yet. We're going to look at this one. Who's who in a trust? So we got to identify, who partake in this trust. Okay. It first give us the grantor, and it means an individual who established a trust and determine what assets would go into it. Now, when we think of the word assets, we think of what? Things that's of value, things that can be a delight, things that we consider to be a worth to us. Okay, it's valuable unto us, right? All right. So the guarantor in this, when you look into the word of Yah, is Yahuwah, our Father in heaven. So he is the grantor. He is the one who established this trust. Okay. And in this trust is your inheritance, Adam. All right. Okay. Now are y'all beginning to connect the dots? So all those things that was prophesied unto the bride, the 144, and to the nation of Israel are placed in a trust. Okay. This is where your inheritance lies in. All right. All right. So I don't want to get to the final part, but let us go to the next person that's involved in the trust process. Then we have a trustee. This is an individual or institution who manage the trust asset. According to the word of Yah, who was given all powers and authorities in the heavens and the earth now. Okay? Who was given all powers and authority in the heavens and earth? Let me see if somebody can give me an answer. Okay? Who was given that, y'all? Who was given that? Come on. I know somebody can give me the answer. Again, I thank y'all for your comments. Tawada. Who is that one, y'all? Who is that promised seed that was told unto our foreparents, Adam and Eve? Oh, yes. Thank you, sis. Yahusha HaMashiach. He is the trustee, for his Father has given him all powers and authorities in the heavens and earth. For he perfected us, y'all. He brought us back to the Father so we can be what? Adam again. Who is Adam, y'all? The Son of God. Do you see your status and your position you had with our Father in heaven before the fall? This is what the second Adam did. Who's now what? The trustee. And through him can you receive your inheritance. Let us keep going to the other part. Now, the third part dealing with this trust part test, we got to know who is the third party involved in this, the beneficiary, right? And these are the persons or entities who would benefit from the trust assets. Now, are y'all connecting the dots? See, in order to receive what the Father has put for you, you first have to receive his confidence. You first have to receive his trust, which is Yahusha HaMashiach. Did he not say he is the door? So he is the key to all things. If you want knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, then guess what? You still have to go through his son. So if you don't receive him, you done lost it all. You lost your inheritance. Now I know some of you are scratching your head because those who have been following the channel, I had talked about the things that would happen to the nation of Israel. So let me give you the quick summary of that. See, we know the nation of Israel, according to Romans 11, is known as the mercy group because they're the unbelieving group, the unfaithful group, because for whatever the reason is, they do not follow the instructions of the Messiah. And you have some of them who don't even believe in the Messiah. Proof of that can be found in Revelation 12. See what happened to the remnant that has to face the serpent. Okay? You got to ask yourself, why is they got to face the serpent when the Father has prepared a place of refuge for his people? All right? So that is proof unto you for those who claim to be following the new marriage, the new covenant. That is proof unto you there are those who are not, even though they think they are, but they are not. Okay? That is also include for those who don't believe in the Messiah. All right? Remember, you can't be lukewarm in this. You got to be either hot or cold. Either you are a child of Yah which is a child of the light, or you're a child of Satan, which is the child of darkness. Okay, so now that we got the three parties identified about this trust process, y'all, we know our Father, Yahuwah, is the grantor. We know the trustee is Yahusha HaMashiach, and we have to receive him for us to what? Partake in the trust asset. Okay, so we are known as the beneficiary. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Woo, this is something deep, y'all, to meditate on. But let me take you to another picture. Okay, let's go to this picture. The Father was coming in my mind something about storehouses. Storehouses. Let me look at that verse. Storehouses. Because remember what the Messiah said, if we seek ye the kingdom of heaven, all these things shall be added unto us. Something to really think about. Okay. Storehouses. I'm doing a word search right quick, y'all, to see what verse that pertains to so you can have for your studies. Okay? So you can understand his trust, his confidence. Okay. I was hoping to find something in the new covenant, but I know in the old covenant you would see the word storehouses, and you know it's a place where um, food and sacred things or even riches is stored there. Well, that's the same thing in the kingdom of heaven. Okay, let me type this in because we know riches means more than just material things. I know most people focus on the gold and the silver and all the precious stones, but the greatest riches is them. They are the kingdom. And through them, you should have it all. And them that I'm talking about is the Elohim head, the Father, the Son, and the Ruach HaKodesh, that divine family in heaven. Because once you have them, there is no poverty. There is no death. There's nothing but prosperity and life. Okay? Let me see, can I find that verse? Because it's coming strong in my mind. And I know it's in the new covenant. So I want to say this. I want to say this again so you can truly understand what riches is. Because the world has given y'all a lie. A lot of people focus on carnal things. But when you understand the spiritual thing, you learn. It would teach you that the greatest riches is having them. Because through them can they bring forth something out of nothing. Go back to the biblical story of him turning the water into wine. And those who have a copy of the book of Mary Magdalene, she will reveal what that means. And what I mean by that is in her book it says that with man eyes, because our eyes are flesh, we only see poverty, we see nothingness. But through the spirit sees abundance because the spirit has the powers, y'all, to bring forth anything out of nothing. It appear right before your eyes. So that is the greatest riches to have, y'all, is them. Okay? Let me see here. I'm in the new covenant. See what I can find. Okay, Now this is kind of close. Let me show this screen to y'all. This is kind of close to what I was looking for, but let me see. Forgive me, y'all. I'm still looking. Okay, so what I was looking at is the book of Ephesians, and trying to see which verse I want to go to. Because we was talking about the word inheritance. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18. So let me show y'all that verse right quick. Ephesians chapter 1, verse 18. And this is another good chapter to read in your spare time. For it says this, I'm going to read a verse up ahead at verse 17. That YAHUAH of our Adonai, our Lord, Yahusha HaMashiach, the Father of glory, may give unto you the spirit of wisdom and revelation and knowledge of him, the eyes of your understanding being enlightened, that ye may know what is the hope of his calling. Did I go where, y'all? What is the hope of his calling? And what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints? And what is the exceeding greatness of his power to usward who believe, according to the working of his mighty power, which he wrought in the Messiah when he raised him from the dead and set him at his own right hand in heavenly places, far above all principality and power. So he's above all angels, y'all, all spirits, the Messiah, and might and dominion, and every name that is named, not only in this world, but also in that which is to come. I'm going to stop there, y'all. Okay? But this is a very good chapter to read. But looking at verse 18 right here, what the riches of the glory of his inheritance in the saints, in order to partake in the riches of the glory of the Messiah's inheritance, y'all. Do you hear me, O bride, and 144,000? To partake in that, one must receive the salvation of Yah, which is the new covenant, the new marriage. And when one receives that, you'll be under the teaching of the Comforter, as written in chapter 14, 15, and 16, and 1 John chapter 2, verse 27. And through him he shall teach you all things. Okay? He shall keep you on that path of righteousness, that you do not lose your inheritance from the trust that Yah has set before you. That was before the foundation of the world, or what we lost. Okay? Something to meditate on. Last one is I want to go to Matthew. I think it's 22 or it's Matthew 19. I'm just going to check. Okay, so it's Matthew 19. This is another verse to let you know all through your fruit of long suffering that you bear, it is not in vain, y'all. Okay? The Most High we recompense you for your sufferings. Okay? But you got to understand the biblical prophecies. You have to understand how the Most High look and deal with time. Those who have been fellowshipping with the family, y'all may know this or do know this. We learned that the Most High is going to allow 7 days to pass, which is 7,000 years. And after 7,000 years, in the 8th day, he shall bring his final judgment. And this would be the end of all ends. Okay? So when you understand those biblical prophecies and you have the dates, when I'm talking about dates, I'm not talking about the day and hour of the Messiah's coming. Okay? I'm talking about you would know the dates of when certain things would take place. Just as we have learned, there are two judgments. One is done by the Son, one is done by the Father. There are two resurrections. The first resurrection has power, and they will partake with reigning with the Messiah when he gets the earth back in check and restore it back to the hands of the righteous. Okay? So that's what I'm talking about. You will know what events should take place. Okay? And when, because you have the dates. The Father give us the dates. And here it go. This is in Matthew chapter 19. I'll make sure my screen is showing what I'm seeing. Okay. For it says, Then answered Peter and said unto him, Behold, we have forsaken all and followed thee. What shall we have therefore? And Yahusha said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Adam shall sit in the throne of his glory. There that word go again, y'all. Glory. Yea, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Yahusha. And every one that hath forsaken houses, or brethren, or sisters, or father, or mother, or wife, or children, or lands, for my name's sake, shall receive 100-fold, and shall inherit everlasting life. But many that are first shall be last, and the last shall be first. So when you meditate, even on these verses that I just read unto you from Matthew chapter 19, verse 30, you will see through the fruit of long suffering, it shall lead you to your inheritance that has been established in Yah's trust. Okay? This should bring a smile to your face. Okay? Because now we're seeing what the ninth month is saying unto us. His confidence means his trust. We have a trust, y'all. We have an inheritance, okay? And the trustee of that inheritance is Yahusha HaMashiach, is Yahusha HaMashiach, and he dwell in us. And by him dwelling in us, who is the door, then the kingdom is inside you. That's the greatest inheritance from the trust. Do y'all see this? Okay. Let me see where else we need to go. Probably need to go back to this picture here. So let me take this down. Let me see where we at. Go back to this picture. So when we look at this picture, looking at the process or the steps that is taken to establish a trust. So when we look at step 1, we have a picture of a farm, right? So it said a farmer put assets in a trust. So in the storehouse, the farmer put the crops that he reaped from harvest, or the produce that he reaped from the earth. Okay, so he put in the fruits of his labor in the storehouse. Okay, because we know man has to eat. If he don't eat, he'll die, right? So that's what a farmer does. And then in step 2 of this trust process, that it goes on to say a trustee holds the assets and has control over them. So just as this definition is shown here, Yahusha HaMashiach is placed over the assets. He placed over the inheritance. This is why the Messiah said unto us, y'all, there will be those called great in the kingdom, and then there were those we call least in the kingdom. I've been fellowshipping with brothers and sisters who've been reaching out to me and telling me about their dreams and their vision. And a sister shares something with me. I can't remember if it was a dream or a vision, but it confirmed what the word was saying unto us about those who be called the greatest and the elite, because it's dealing with the type of glory that would be upon them. There would be a difference. Yes, so that's I'm telling y'all, if you want a great inheritance if you want a great inheritance in the kingdom of Yah, it is based upon your heart, your faith, and your words. And see, Father knows best. He knows you. Remember, He knows your heart, meaning He knows your thoughts. He knows your intention. He knows what you take a delight in your heart to do and what you hate. Do you hear me? He knows all these things, y'all. Okay, so in step 2, the trustee is Yahusha HaMashiach, for once He dwelt in us, then the kingdom is inside us. Mm. Remember the Father prayer. He is the kingdom. Is He not? He is the power. He is the glory. All right, let's keep going. Then in step 3, it goes on to say the beneficiaries get access according to the farmer's wishes. So again, our Father what? Gives instruction to the Messiah. For in John chapter 8, the Messiah revealed unto us that all things is taught unto Him by His Father in heaven. And when you see Him, you see the Father, because they are on one accord. In other words, He do just as His Father does. They do not contradict one another. They work together. So with this trust, it is still under the guidelines, under the authorities of Yah. And He has placed His Son over this trust to oversee it, and He will too judge and also determine who gets what in the kingdom. Do y'all see this? Okay. So benefactors should get assets according to the farmer's wishes. So again, as you see, everything leads back to His Son. For in John chapter 14, He said, well, I am the way to truth and life. No one can get unto the Father but by me. Do y'all see how this ties so deep together? Now going back to the foundation, we learned that covenant means what? Marriage. So when we look at everything from the definition of the word trust, okay, even the definition of confidence in the strong concordance, we even looked at let's see what we looked at too. We looked at all those things, and going back to the foundation, we know in order for the trust of Yah to be in us, okay, we have to partake in the covenant, okay, the new covenant. All right, it's the difference between the old covenant versus the eternal covenant to come. I'm taking you back to the Hebrew letter so you can look at that Hebrew letter again. Very important to understand this, because according to the word of Yah, we are married unto the Son. We are His bride. Do you hear me? 144, and to the bride. And the bride is made up of Israelites and Gentiles, male and females, circumcised and uncircumcised, Scythian and barbarian, etc. All of those who receive the Messiah according to Romans chapter 10 instructions, you become His bride. Okay? So when you go back to the foundation of tall, you will see now that when we're married unto the Messiah, we are what? His property. He owns us now. Okay? We are joined to Him, and when we are joined to Him, we are joined to the Elohim head. We become one with them, meaning that we work on one accord with them, just as man and wife work on one accord. Just as man and wife are one, the same happened to us, for we are what's now spiritually connected. Remember, all things come by spirit now. And also there is a marking placed upon you, just as the Israelite put the blood upon the doorpost. You are sealed by the Holy Spirit. So there is a spiritual blood marking upon you that marks you as you belong to the Messiah. And because you belong to the Messiah, you are now the temple or the tabernacle of Yah. In other words, he brought you back to being owned by Yah. We're no longer servants of Satan. We're no longer servants to sin and death. He broke that bondage. He broke that tie. Okay? In other words, you are divorced from that now. Do you see this? So when you look at the fall, when our foreparents fell, Adam and Eve, when they fell, they had subjected themselves to be under Satan. This is why they was changed from eternal beings to mortal beings. Do y'all see this? This is why their tabernacles was changed to from incorruptible to corruptible. But what the Messiah did, who was the second Adam, he overturned that. He broke that bond. Okay? He broke that ownership that Satan had over us, y'all. So now we are what joined back to them for those who choose liberty and freedom. Again, that relates to the Feast of Lights. Liberty and freedom. For those who want their liberty and freedom, the only way to have it is through the covenant that Yahusha HaMashiach made. Now, don't think the nation of Israel gonna get away. Why you think he gonna bring them to the wilderness, y'all? He gonna get them straight. He gonna let them know he got a son. Okay? And they too will come in. This is why it's prophesied unto Dan, oh, I see thy salvation. Because when they see the Messiah, that nation or that tribe will come in. Okay? So now that we see how all this connected together, now we're going to close out by reading Proverbs chapter. Let me get to the screen. Proverbs chapter 1. Okay? So in order to, before I go there, I just want to sum everything up what we learned so far. The 9th month means Yah confidence, which is Yah trust. And we know Yah trust is Yahusha HaMashiach. Okay? Through him living in you, you will have what? Trust, faith, hope, believe in all things despite what the wicked does. Do y'all hear me? Because the wicked is going to really test you and try to shift you. But through your relationship, through your marriage with that living word live in you, he's going to show you how to overcome, how to endure it, because he's going to remind you of the promises that our Father made. In other words, we know that these things will not always be. There is an end. It's just that the wicked don't believe in it. Okay? Because of how our Father moves. They think he ain't gonna do anything about it because they take his quietness, what's the word I look for? They take his quietness as he don't care, but that's not true. See, the Father has a way of dealing with the wicked. No one can outplan him or think him. But he is a just God, y'all. He's a righteous God. So what our Father do, he gives you plenty of time to repent and to make it right. And if you continue not to repent and continue to remain wicked, he going to let you, he going to give you enough rope where you can hang yourself. So when you face him in that eternal judgment, okay, because I'll give you the history of the judgment. We had the water as the first judgment in the earth. The second judgment would be with fire, and his son would carry that out. And the third judgment would be with our Father, which is the eternal judgment, and he's going to judge angels, okay, who cause his children to sin, and he's going to judge Adam, who chose not to repent and to remain joined with those angels. Okay? So he's righteous. So when you face him, you won't be able to say, well, I didn't know, I didn't have time. And he's going to show you your life before you, and your life is going to testify against you. Okay? So it's nothing you can say. And the Father want me to re-emphasize this. This world, y'all, we're living in is a temporary world. This is not permanent. So do not build your kingdom here, because he done told us he going to destroy it with fire. Focus on the kingdom of heaven. Focus what the Father wants you to do for him. That should be our priority. Don't get caught up in the ways of the world. Okay? Now I'm reading to you from Proverbs chapter, I think it's Proverbs chapter 1. Hold on, y'all. Let me make sure I got the right chapter. I thought it was chapter 3. I want to make sure. As I'm checking, Father, remind me to let you know, remember, storehouse is a place where people put things that are very important to them, or things that of wealth. Okay, things that are important. Let's see here. Yes, Proverbs chapter 3, when we're going to focus on verse 26, but we're going to read the whole chapter. Okay, starting with the summary. An exhortation to obedience, to faith, to mortification, to devotion, to patience. The happy gain of wisdom, the power and the benefits of wisdom, and and exhortation to charitableness and peaceableness and contentness, the cursed state of the wicked. My son, forget not my law, but let thy heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace shall they add to thee. See what the keeping the commandments bring forth? It shall what? Lengthen your days and give you long life, and you shall have peace. Verse 3, let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck. Write them upon the table of thy heart. Now you get to get understanding of Deuteronomy chapter 6, when you put like that binding and that between your eye. Okay, it's talking something that takes place within you, that takes place within your heart. Okay, and your thoughts. Okay, these thoughts are something that man cannot hear or see, but only the Father. Verse 4, so shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yahuwah and man. So when you do these things, y'all, you're going to have favor with Yahuwah. And because you have favor with Yahuwah, guess who else Yahuwah is going to cause? He's going to cause mankind to favor you. And we got many examples. Look at Joseph, Daniel, and many others. Did he not give them favor with the Gentiles? Because they kept his commandments and they kept mercy and truth in their hearts. Okay? Verse 5. Trust in Yahuwah with all thy heart, and lean not unto thy own understanding. In all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy path. These are one of my most favorite verse, y'all, 5 and 6. Because when you go through that journey with him, especially when he put that fruit of long suffering upon you, you begin to understand him so much, y'all. And through that fruit of long suffering, it will truly strengthen your faith and your walk. Where even when there are times you may not understand you may not understand what's going on, but you begin to say unto the Father, Your will be done. Your will give me understanding, but in his time. So be it. I will do as you want me to do, Father, despite of my understanding. I will do as you want me to do, Father, despite of what my flesh is craving. Do y'all see this? Sometimes in this walk, you would do things that's not logical. Okay? It's spiritual sense. It makes plenty of spiritual sense. But unto the world, it's not logical. But it's to bring forth and to show the world about how we must trust in Yah in all things, despite what the outcome is, despite what things may look like they may be, because we know he has the final say in everything. Okay? Remind me of that verse we just read earlier about his confidence unto the end of the earth. Okay? Verse 7, be not wise in thy own eyes. Fear Yahuwah and depart from evil. So do not lean unto your own wisdom that this world has taught unto you. Remember, Yah's wisdom, God's wisdom is different from the world. Again, when you fear him, you will what? Depart from evil. You will not want to do evil. Verse 8, it shall be health to thy neighbor and marrow to thy bones. See, by fearing him, it's going to be healthy for you. Verse 9, honor Yahuwah with thy substance and with the first fruits of all thy increase. So when you understand about tithes, y'all, we know tithes deal with the fruits and the produce you got from the land as well as from your sheep, so your goats, okay? Those are the things that we offer unto Yah. Again, this world has deceived us so much with the paper money, okay? But what the Father said, whatever we have, it all belongs to him. And when he gives you instructions on what to do, because he told us what? When we look at Isaiah 58, there's a fasting that is very pleasing unto Yah, that will edify your hearts. So when the Father gives you instructions to feed the hungry, to clothe the naked, to give shelter to the homeless, okay? These are the things that are pleasing unto him and that will edify your heart. Okay? There's something else I want to say about. Oh, and the Father reminded me to share, well, to tell you, remember your fellow brothers and sisters, they too are what? The tabernacle of Yah. They are the temple of Yah. So what you do to them, you are doing to him. Do y'all see this? So this false Roman Christian doctrine of saying that you have to bring your offerings to them, that's not true. You take your offerings to your brothers and sisters that have need. You listen to the Spirit and allow the Spirit to show you where to take your offerings that the Father has blessed you with. Because all of our belongings belong to him. Even our children belong to him. Verse 11 and verse 10. So shall thy barns be filled with plenty, and thy presses shall burst out with new wine. So when we do right by him, guess what? He blesses us. He bless us bountifully if with anything we put our hand upon. That is prosperity, y'all. Again, don't get confused with the paper money. Okay? Verse 11. My son, despise not the chastising of Yahuwah, neither be weary of his correction. From whom Yahuwah loveth, he correcteth, even as a father the son in whom he delighteth. So when you're going through hard times and tribulation, and you know definitely when the father is chastising you, because I'm a witness of that, y'all, we should be rejoicing because guess what? He loves you. If he did not chastise you, then it's showing that he don't care anything about you. In other words, if he didn't chastise you, you will remain in darkness and being bound as a servant unto the powers of darkness. Now you begin to understand why the fruit of long suffering is a good thing. It is to help you, to edify you, to perfect you, and to refine you. Verse 13, happy is the man that findeth wisdom and that getteth understanding. Now, that is so true. For the merchandise of it is better than the merchandise of silver, and the gain thereof than fine gold. So, when one receives the wisdom of Yah, it bringeth forth understanding. And this, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I'm a witness of this. This makes you so happy. You be on cloud 10, not cloud 9, y'all. Cloud 10, which is completion. Okay. And I'm looking at verse 14, how it's saying that wisdom is better. Okay, it's saying that the merchandise of wisdom is so much better than the merchandise of silver and gold. So in other words, whatever silver and gold bring forth, because we use these things to buy things. Well, what it's saying that what wisdom bring forth is way more better or valuable than what silver and gold can bring forth. Okay, verse 15. She is more precious than rubies, and all the things that thou canst desire are not to be compared with her. Y'all see this? Wisdom, there's nothing on her level. This is why the Messiah said that she shall be justified by her children, for she is not made in vain, y'all. She shall produce or bring forth the children of God, who shall be what? In light and no longer in darkness, who shall be filled with his leaven, meaning they shall be filled with the good, with the fullness of God. They shall bear his doctrines, his knowledge, his wisdom, his understanding. They shall bear his commandments, his judgments, his statutes, and his laws. She will fill them where you are overflowing, as David said, my cup runneth over. So you cannot compare her to carnal things like rubies. There's nothing on her level. Verse 16, length of days is in her right hand, and in her left hand riches and honor. So when you have her, y'all, you have everything. She bring you life, and she'll give you riches. Verse 17, her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace, y'all, because I'm telling you about this spirit. It's a very peaceful spirit. It's a gentle spirit, teachable spirit, loving spirit. This spirit is the image of mother. In other words, just as we have a mother in the earth, like Eve was the mother of all living, Sarah was the mother of nations, of which kings shall come out of. Rebecca was the mother of, I think it's thousands upon thousands and millions upon millions. So just as we have a mother in the earth, we have a mother in the heaven. And this mother is the glory of Yah, and it's the beauty of holiness. And even the powers of darkness is no match for her. Okay. It goes on to say, she is a tree of life to them that lay hold upon her, and happy is everyone that retaineth her. Yahuwah by wisdom have made, Yahuwah by wisdom have found the earth. By understanding have he established the heavens. Do y'all see this? Because of wisdom, the earth was founded. Because of wisdom, the heavens was established. For those who read the book who read the Apocrypha, Solomon will break that down even further for you. It will expound more on this. For she is the counsel of Yah. She is his helpmate. Verse 20, by his knowledge the depths are broken up, and the clouds drop down the dew. My son, let them not depart from thy eyes. Keep sound wisdom and discretion. So shall they be life unto thy soul, and grace to thy neck. Then thou shalt walk in thy way safely, and thy foot shall not stumble. When you bear that seed, who is the trust of Yah, the confidence of Yah, he shall be a lamp unto thy feet, and you will not stumble in the dark, for the light shall lead you through the dark. Verse 24, when thou layest down, thou shalt not be afraid. Yea, thou shalt lay down, and thy sleep shall be sweet. Be not afraid of certain fear, neither of desolation of the wicked when it cometh. For Yahuwah shall be thy confidence. Do y'all hear that? For Yahuwah shall be thy confidence, and shall keep thy foot from being taken. So because he is our trust, okay, because he is our trust, we shall go asleep at night without being afraid. Because he is our trust, we will not be afraid of what the wicked do or when they come. Because we know they will have an end. But our end will bring forth a new beginning. The wicked will have an end to death and eternal pain, agony, and suffering. But our end bring forth life, peace, joy, rest, Shabbat. Okay? Bring forth shalom. All right? Withhold not good from them to whom it is due, when it is in the power of thy hand to do it. Say not unto thy neighbor, go and come again, and tomorrow I will give, when thou hast it by thee. So when you have it and you got it, if your neighbor need it, don't wait till tomorrow. Tomorrow is not promised unto us, y'all. Give it to them then. Devise not evil against thy neighbor, seeing he dwelleth securely by thee. So don't do evil unto your neighbor. Strive not with a man without cause, if he have done thee no harm. So don't strive with him, he haven't done any harm to you. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Do y'all hear this, Israelites and Gentiles? Don't envy the oppressor. Don't follow his ways. These are ways of darkness of the world. Be the Adam that Yah made you to be. Embrace his trust. Embrace his confidence that shall lead you to your inheritance so you can be the beneficiaries of it. So you can partake of it. Verse 32, for the forward is abomination to Yahuwah, but his secret is with the righteous. See, those who are his, we understand these sacred things. The wicked were not. See, say right here, for the forward is abominable to Yahuwah. So he hates that. But his secret is with his righteous one. Verse 33, the curse of Yahuwah is in the house of the wicked, but he blesses the habitation of the just. Huh. Do y'all hear this? The curse of Yahuwah is in the house of the wicked, but he blessed the habitation of the just. So when you are rightly before him, when you do right in the sight of his eyes, he will bless you. But when you do evil in the sight of his eyes, you will be cursed, punished, judged, condemned. Verse 34. Surely he scorned the scorners, but he giveth grace unto the lowly. So those who laugh at the righteous one, he's going to take care of that. But those who come humbly, not proudly, he gives grace. Verse 35. The wise shall inherit glory, but shame shall be the promotion of fools. So do y'all hear this? Now this is another heavenly message right here. The wise shall inherit glory. So that's part of the trust, y'all. This is what you're going to inherit is glory. Again, what was established in the beginning before the foundation of the world. This pertains to Adam, y'all. So the wise shall inherit glory. This is from your trust. Okay. Again, to partake in the trust or to receive the benefits from the trust, you must enter into the new covenant, into the marriage, which is receiving Yahusha HaMashiach, for he is the salvation of Yah. He is the righteousness of Yah, and through him shall you attain your adopt sonship, meaning that you shall be restored back to the status of Adam, meaning that you are a son or daughter of Yah. But the wicked shall bear shame and shall be fools. Okay, here are the side notes and the precepts to Proverbs chapter 3. It's a good chapter to go back and reflect on with a focus on verse 26. I want to say this again. For the Lord shall be thy confidence. For Adonai shall be your confidence. In other words, we should put all our trust, hope, and faith in him, despite what is going on around us. When you don't understand, my brothers and sisters, I want you to take that time and seek Yah when you don't understand. Remember, he said, ask in my son's name and it shall be given unto you. And when you do that, you can begin to understand him and his ways and how he does stuff. And then you're going to see the picture. You're going to begin to see what this world really is and what it's really about. And you're going to begin to understand you are in a matrix. Okay? And because you're in a matrix, the world is not going to see what you see and hear what you hear because they are caught up in the ways of the wicked. In other words, the wicked think there is no God. The wicked think he ain't going to do anything because he's been silent. The wicked think they can continue to do what they do and get away with it. Because it's, like I say again, because the amount of time that has passed. Okay? So, when you don't understand, trust him. When you don't even know where you're going, trust him. Because this is about his will. Not your will, but his will. All right, let me take y'all to the picture that we start off with. So you can go back and meditate. Now, I hope you understand what the 9th month is telling us. It's telling us about his trust. And who is his trust? Yahusha HaMashiach. And when he is inside of you, then you shall become the benefit. I cannot say this word, y'all. Beneficiaries of that trust. You shall receive the benefits because you receive him. And the person who created this trust There you go again. Created the trust. Did he not create the word, the living word? Did he not make him? Okay. The person who created the trust, who established this trust, was Yahuwah. For Yahuwah knows all and sees all. And he knew he needed to make a way for Adam to be redeemed, to be restored. And that way, that trust that set it all up was Yahusha HaMashiach. Mm-hmm. Far as Sharp, my brother, there's an article coming out. I haven't had a chance to watch the video, but I trust Yahuwah because I, like I'm telling y'all now, I talked to him, and we all got word that they have created a vaccine and they ready to roll it out, right? But I said, Father, I trust you because I know you're going to have a way out for your people. But we have to what? Act in faith when we don't even see the way out. Okay? So the word that is out now is that they think this vaccine may not be effective as they thought it would be. Do y'all hear me? They think the vaccine they just made, that they pushing out, may not be effective as they may be. Continue to watch, my brothers and sisters, as the Messiah say. He said, watch and pray. Continue to believe and trust in Yahuwah and Yahusha HaMashiach, despite what they say, despite of the outcome. Because remember, they are the Tov. They are the end. And they have the final say in all things. So don't be shaken by that either. All right, I have said enough in this video. Continue to preach that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, for it's truly at hand, y'all. Okay? Make sure the people receive salvation as written in Romans chapter 10. If you have no one to baptize you, you can do this yourself. Just find, you can go in your bathroom or a swimming pool, just submerge yourself in water. For the water is the second witness in the earth. It can make a report unto Yah of those who had entered into the new marriage, of those who have received his trust, his confidence. Okay? For the Father has poured his Spirit upon all his creations. This is why the water can give a report. Okay? For those who want to receive the Holy Spirit baptism, as is written in the word, he shall give unto you in his Son's name. This ask in his Son's name, and he shall give it unto you. Now remember, the Father knows you. He knows your heart, your work, and your faith. So he give it according to his time. He give it according to your heart. For Father knows what is best. He knows his children. Okay? I love you all, and shalom. And remember, prayer is very powerful, and it's most powerful when it's in faith. Shalom.